The Bowling Green Purples football team is off to another great start this year and are currently ranked #1 in Class 5A.
They're coming off a big win as they traveled to Louisville and took on annual powerhouse St. X and left with the 28-20 victory. And joining us now on the Sports Connection is the head coach of the Purples, Kevin Wallace. Coach, thanks for being here.
Good to see you, Coach.
Good to see you, Doug.
Well, first off, talk about that big win. I know you guys have gone and played St. X before, and this was the first time you guys were able to go and get the victory. Talk about the game.
Well, it was a well-played game. I thought that we prepared all week with a mindset that we were going to win the football game, and we've done that before with these kind of teams and haven't been able to come out a victor. I think the neat thing about the game was the fact that we've probably, in the 7 times we've played X in Trinity, 4 of those 7 occasions we've gone into the last 8 minutes of the game with a chance to win, haven't been able to win any of them, and that's what I was really proud of, that we fought our way through some adversity, pulled out a tough win on the road against a team that probably very few people expected us to beat. And I hope it's a sign of a turnaround, because last year all 3 games that we lost were games that we had leads in or had a chance to really win late. It was only close games we really played all season long, and we didn't win any of them. So I think it signifies a little bit of a change in our mental toughness and our ability to kind of get over the hump. And it was a huge win, but unfortunately it only lasts for a day or 2, and you got to turn right around and go back to work. If we don't build on it and have other good things happen during the year, then it's not going to be as valuable of a win as it was on Friday.
Coach, and I know that you've got a really tough schedule this year, but I do want to get back to the St. X game for a second. This week you're going into your 199th game as a head coach of the Purples. I think I'm correct there.
That's right.
Personally, in all the wins that you've had at Bowling Green, did you kind of reflect on this win against St. X, and is it up there as one of the tops, and also as a win for your team? What do you think that it did for them?
Well, I think you start with playoff wins, Doug. I think those are the ones that are most memorable, because you're always in do-or-die situations against really good ball clubs when you get deep in the playoffs. But in terms of a regular season win, it was a big win. It was big for our program to get over that hump. In a quick memory jog, the 96 Mayo win was a big one when they had Tony Driver. The 2003 win over Warren Central when they had DeWalt and that group, and we really played well in that game. So there are always big regular season wins that will stay in your mind. But most of the big games that you remember are playoff games, and that's what we're kind of looking forward to, is getting in November and making sure that we can build off of beating somebody like St. X, that we can continue on and kind of etch our own memories in November and December this year.
Coach, you've been ranked before in the state. Bowling the Purples is a powerhouse and a very traditional football program. But you were ranked preseason #1 in Class 5A. You're still #1 in Class 5A. How is your team handling that, from your perspective? Is that something that, you got enough seniors on this team that they just rolling with it and they're going game to game, or do you ever get wrapped up in those rankings?
No, not at all. I think that our program is not one that's built on hype. It's not built on getting fired up for a game. It's business-like every week, trying to take care of what we're supposed to do. Our players have bought into living that way. Yep. Our field house is that way every day, and I don't think that you can tell much difference on a Thursday that we're getting ready to play Logan County or if we're getting ready to play St. X. I think that's part of why I think we've had such a longevity of success. You mentioned that we were ranked #1. I think that's just a compliment to all the players and people who have been in our program before. A preseason ranking, nobody really knows who's the best team. You got to go out and play. We've seen John Harden on tape. They're really, really good. Warren Central's got a great team. Christian Kane we saw on tape this week. They've got a great team. So we're going to really have to beat some really good people in November to solidify that type of ranking. It's nice to have that notoriety, but unfortunately it doesn't come with any points on the board.
Coach, you guys recently won your 600th game as a program. Do you try to get your kids to almost be historians of the game and realize that their program, this isn't just in the last couple of years you guys have been a great team, it's been a while, and so that they carry on the tradition and know that, hey, this is a school, this is a team that we expect every year to be that good?
Well, I think they get that from our coaches, And I think that they understand that that's what kind of program they've come into when they put on that gold helmet. And it's not just about numbers; it's about people. You walk down our hallways and you see the pictures of the men who've played in college football. We went to Lexington and played in the bowl game, and Cisco Bryant, who was a All-Stater at Bowling Green in the 80s, early 80s, and played at Kentucky, talked to our team before we played Henry Clay and talked at length about what it means to be a Purple. And we utilize that in every effort that we can, using guys who played in our program. I know that we have somebody that speaks to our seniors every Thursday, and most of them have a history about being a Purple. And we want to cultivate that, because we want to cultivate that feeling that we're not just playing for ourselves, but we're playing for a lot of folks out there who have a lot of passion about Bowling Green football.
Coach, I mean, there are so many great players on your team this year, offensively, defensively. We could spend the entire show talking about each of them. But one young man I do want to talk about, and we're going to have him on the show next, Scooter Hollis. And something, they always say a great quarterback has vision. And Scooter, puts up almost 145 yards rushing against St. X. He just seems to be able to make the decisions that need to be made in a split second to make it work. Talk a little bit about your field general and Scooter and how he's moving this team.
Well, he's been very fortunate to be on the field for 3 years.
Yeah.
And he's a very coachable young man. Coach Spader, Mark Spader's done a great job in preparing him every week, giving him an understanding of what types of things the defense are going to give him. And I think that he takes that mental preparation a little bit further than most high school players. And he's a very intellectual young man, very intelligent, very coachable, and that all feeds in to the fact that he's also an exceptional athlete.
Yeah.
We can utilize his legs, we can utilize his arm, and we're very fortunate that he's smart enough to really make good decisions in both the passing game and the running game. And I don't know that you can play much better than he's played the first 3 weeks, but I hope you can, because I'd love to find out if he can get better as we go on. But he's had 3 really good football games against top-flight competition. And the thing that I think is great for Scooter is he did that in front of statewide media people when we were in Lexington and in Louisville. He's now a name that's not an unknown. And across the state, he's been pretty much an unknown, but not anymore.
Coach, we appreciate you being on the show, and we wish you the best of luck the rest of the season.
Coach. Good seeing you.
All right, thanks a lot. Go
We're going
Purples.
to time for a quick break, but stick around. You're watching the Sports Connection on WBKO.